Welcome back to the Mets office. Tyler here as we continue to go through past exam questions. Today we have 2018 question 9. Again, current study designs. This was the first year of the current study design, so this is still all relevant. Alright, so this question, we come into it and we get this table as our information. We've got two skiing events. So a short skiing event known as a sprint event and a long skiing event. Sorry if you can hear a dog barking in the background. So the short event, the sprint event, is 1.4 kilometers long. The long event is 15 kilometers long. So we're looking at skiing 1.4k compared to skiing 15 kilometers, and we get given the average speed of each event. In the sprint event, the skiers can average 33 kilometers an hour, and in the long event, the skiers can average 27 kilometers an hour. Now you don't necessarily need to know, but if we can look at that, we can say, well, that's going to take a bit over half an hour. And I can look at that one and say that's going to take probably less than 3 minutes. So say about 3 minutes versus half an hour maybe. That's sort of just what we want to look at. The question itself says, how can the athletes average a higher speed in the short event compared to in the long event? Pretty straightforward. And then asks you to use the data. Again, all right, so if it says use the data, we definitely need to do that. There's going to be at least a mark in that. And your knowledge about the energy system interplay, right? Basically, that's all we get. So again, there's not a whole lot of direction. We just need to use our knowledge about energy systems and use some data. All right, first thing, in both events, all three energy systems contribute to energy production, right? If we have an interplay question, we want to put that in there. We understand that in both events, all three energy systems will contribute in varying amounts. You might want to talk about, but that's probably what we need to know, the duration, the intensity, that's going to be implied in what we do next. In the sprint event, right, it is much shorter. We have a higher contribution from the anaerobic systems. Right, the shorter the event, the higher contribution we can have from the anaerobic systems, and they have a higher rate of energy production when compared to the aerobic energy system. Right, so higher contribution in the shorter rate, the anaerobic systems have a higher rate of energy production compared to aerobic. Then we're going to say that in the long event, we are going to have a higher aerobic contribution, and the aerobic system has a slower rate of energy production compared to the anaerobic systems. Right, fairly straightforward. We just then want to tie this together into what that means and using the data. So we're going to say that this leads to the difference in the skiing speed of 27 kilometers an hour in the long event compared to 33 kilometers an hour in the short event. Right, it's really pretty straightforward. Luke and I just spoke about this. 6 marks I think is quite generous for this question because we are sort of saying the same thing twice here, but that's not a problem. Just again, what does it ask us to do? Using the data, make sure we do that, and our energy systems. When we talk about energy systems, what's going to lead to higher performance, faster running speed, more power on a bike, anything like that? It is the fact that we get a higher rate of energy production from those anaerobic systems compared to the aerobic systems. So anytime we're running faster, we're going to see that higher contribution. Make sure we mention that. And we should be good. Any questions, again, let us know. Otherwise, we'll see you next time.
Just quickly, Tyler, while we're still here, mate, I'm just zoomed in on the marking rubric at the top there. Only 5% got 6 marks. Given we've got 4 dot points, can you quickly go through where the marks came from, the 6 key things?
Our sort of best guess, right? We want to get a mark here. Both events are going to utilise all 3 energy systems. Yep. We're going to get one for saying the sprint event has a higher contribution from anaerobic, right? So we're identifying a higher contribution from the anaerobic system in a shorter event. We then need to go on with that and explain that the anaerobic system have a higher rate of energy production, right? So 1 mark identifying it has a higher contribution, 1 mark identifying that they have the higher rate of energy production. Vice versa, feels like we're double dipping a bit here, but if that's the case, that's good for you guys. The long event has a higher contribution from the aerobic energy system, 1 there. Now again, go forward with that, understand that the aerobic energy system has a slower rate of energy production. There's our second one, and then tie it together with the data. That's the difference in the running speed. Obviously the higher rate of energy production allows a higher skiing speed. The lower rate of energy production is going to result in a lower skiing speed. And we've got our data in there, 27 kilometers an hour versus 33 kilometers an hour.